Today on Public Eye News, Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel joins a multi-state coalition to protect an endangerment finding. First, nurses in Ironwood file a federal charge against Aspirus Healthcare.
Coming up, Summer Starrett will have your weather forecast, where we'll take a look at conditions for the next few days. Emma Moratz will have your sports forecast as well. I'm Jacob Heston.
And I'm Emma Moratz. Today, this is Public Eye News. Nurses at Aspirus Ironwood have filed a federal labor practice charge against the hospitals through the Michigan Nurses Association, or MNA. The union has been in negotiations with Aspirus for a new contract since May 6th, with their current deal ending on August 2nd. Aspirus has refused to continue negotiations, which led to the charge being filed through the MNA. A rally was held on September 17th where nurses held a successful rally against the hospital's closure of the OB unit. The charge has been sent to the National Labor Relations Board, where it will be reviewed. The MNA is arguing that under federal law, Aspirus has the obligation to be in good faith with their staff. There will be 4 presidential candidates visiting Northern Michigan University's campus starting on September 29th and ending on October 10th. The names of the candidates will not be released until 24 hours before they arrive on campus. Students and faculty will be able to meet and interview these candidates to get an idea of their plans for the university. Following the meetings, the NMU Board of Trustees will interview each of these candidates individually, starting the week of October 13th. Following that, a candidate will be selected to be the 18th president of Northern Michigan University, with plans to have the selected candidate assume office early next year. The first meeting is going to be held on September 29th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. in the Northern Center.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer's Fix the Roads campaign is rolling into the UP this week, with major work now underway in both Baraga County and Houghton counties. Crews are tackling much-needed repairs aimed at improving safety and cutting down on future maintenance. Costs in Houghton, the focus on strengthening key stretches of roadway that connect residents to jobs, schools, and healthcare. Meanwhile, in Baraga County, construction is targeting local routes that are critical for both daily drivers and the flow of goods through the region. The projections of the part of the border statewide push to modernize Michigan's infrastructure and keep communities better connected. A big boost is coming to the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay's high school dual enrollment program. The state of Wisconsin has allocated $1 million in the state's budget to expand access, allowing more juniors and seniors to take college courses while still in high school. The program, called Rising Phoenix, also serves over 600 students, and the funding will help it grow to a new school districts. Officials say that this is to save students money by cutting roughly half the cost of a 4-year degree and encourage more students to stay within the UW system. Michigan is just now over a week away from its potential government shutdown. State lawmakers are still trying to pass a budget and get it to Governor Whitmer before the end of the month deadline. Autumn Pitcher with WMMT News has more.
As funding cuts are still being negotiated by legislators, Governor Gretchen Whitmer says free breakfast and lunch for Michigan students is not something that should be up for discussion.
Michigan families the last 2 years have been able to count on these meals for their kids, breakfast and lunch. And this is at risk as we try to close out this budget, something that I want to make sure that we get done.
Showcasing the importance of the Michigan School Meals Program by serving kids lunch at Hamilton Elementary and Early Childhood Center.
When our kids are hungry, it's nearly impossible to learn.
Whitmer says free breakfast and lunch saves parents roughly $850 a year. The governor recommended to keep the program for the 2025-2026 school year. The Michigan Senate included it in their proposed budget, but the Michigan House did not. Amid tensions riding high over this uncertainty, Whitmer says education does remain a priority for both parties.
Democrats and Republicans are working together right now in Lansing to improve our schools and help kids succeed. I've already signed 6 balanced bipartisan budgets. This year should be no difference.
Again, legislators have just over a week to get a budget passed, and when asked what the plan is if the government did shut down, the governor did not go into any specifics, saying that she does still believe it can be avoided. In Kentwood, Autumn Pitcher, News Channel 3.
Now don't touch that dial. Summer Stirrett will have your weather forecast right after this.
This is where the story begins.
What a magical little moment.
I've never seen this before.
We are the explorer species.
That is really beautiful to see.
It's an absolute explosion of sound and color.
What took place here still leaves us in awe.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Summer Stirrett, ready to deliver your weather forecast. Taking a first look at our campus rooftop cam, it's looking a little gloomy outside, but the grass is freshly cut and students are still having a good time. Taking a look at our Upper Peninsula map here, it's going to be 66 in Houghton with partly sunny skies. Same conditions down in Ironwood. Iron Mountain 68 with very similar. Menominee 65 and cloudy. Moving to the other side of our map, Escanaba 63 and also partly sunny. Manistee 67 with some clouds. Sault Ste. Marie 70 degrees and partly sunny. And back here in Marquette 61 and partly sunny. Taking a deeper look into those conditions, our winds are going to be north at 10 miles per hour and our barometric pressure is 30.10 and falling. Taking a look at tonight's conditions, it's going to be mostly cloudy with a low of 49. Our winds are going to be northwest at 5 miles per hour and our moon phase is a waxing crescent. Taking a look at tomorrow, sunny with a high of 72, a low of 54, and winds are going to be west at 5 miles per hour. Taking a look towards the weekend, Friday is going to be a high of 62, a low of 52 with partly sunny skies. Saturday, a high of 70 and a low of 52 with those sunny skies coming out. Sunday looking like 71 with those same conditions and a low of 55. That's all I have for weather. Back to the desk.
Thank you for that great weather report, Summer. It looks like we're going to have some conditions coming our way that are not the happiest. Now back to some statewide news. Attorney General Dana Nessel joins a multi-state coalition opposing the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's recession of the 2009 endangerment finding. The finding says that greenhouse gases harm public health. The Trump administration announced last month that there is a proposal to overturn the 2009 findings, claiming the EPA does not have the authority to regulate air pollution. In the 225-page letter sent to the EPA, the coalition mentions that overriding the 2009 endangerment finding is against state law, Supreme Court rulings, and scientific agreement. The coalition has strongly urged the EPA to rescind the proposal against the 2009 environmental finding. And the Michigan Gaming Control Board, or MGCB, is cracking down on unregistered online casinos. The board has issued a cease and desist order on 8 online casinos that have been targeting residents of Michigan without approval from the state. Some of the illegal operators include Beast Spin Casino, Kudos Casino, and Super Slots, among others. Stated in Michigan law, sports betting and internet casinos must be provided by approved MGCB licensed casinos. The casinos that were handed the cease and desist order offered online gambling without the proper licensing, which violated sections of Michigan Penal Code. Jimmy Kimmel made an emotional return to his namesake TV show on Tuesday night. During his opening monologue, Kimmel said there was nothing funny about the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. He also called efforts to cancel his late-night show un-American. Jared Hill of CBS News has the latest.
At times, emotional.
It was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man.
Jimmy Kimmel made his return to late night with a passionate defense of free speech.
I want to thank the people who don't support my show and what I believe, but support my right to share those beliefs anyway.
Last week, ABC suspended Jimmy Kimmel Live following criticism from FCC Chairman Brendan Carr and TV station ownership companies Sinclair and Nexstar over Kimmel's comments about the man charged with killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Announcing Kimmel's return, ABC called the jokes ill-timed and insensitive. Just an hour before last night's broadcast, President Trump, in a scathing post on social media, said the show had bad ratings, accused the host of being an arm of the Democratic Party, and appeared to threaten to sue ABC again, alluding to a defamation suit he settled with the network last year.
The President of the United States made it very clear he wants to see me and the hundreds of people who work here fired from our jobs. Our leader celebrates Americans losing their livelihoods because he can't take a joke.
Charlie Kirk's supporters expressed disappointment over Disney's decision.
I can't believe they're letting him back on the air.
People in the audience called the atmosphere electric.
I felt like he spoke from the heart, he was honest, and he said what we were all thinking.
But millions couldn't see the show, with Nexstar and Sinclair preempting Jimmy Kimmel Live, blocking it from nearly a quarter of American households. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Now, after this short break, my co-star Emma Maratz will be back with a sports report you will not want to miss.
We're starting in Chicago and traveling to St. Louis. In an all-new season of Travels with Darlie. We're taking on the USA with tasty stops in Alabama, Louisiana,
the Cajun culture and the Creole culture,
North Dakota, Illinois, and Virginia. Plus, revolutionary road trips chock full of American history. We'll head further afield to South Korea.
History is history, and I think we need to realize that we can learn from history.
Wednesday at 5.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. Once again, I am Emma Maratz here to deliver your Wednesday sports breakdown. Starting off on the mound, the Detroit Tigers faced off against the Cleveland Guardians in the first game of their series, with the Tigers falling to Cleveland 5-2. With this loss, the Guardians and Tigers are now tied for first place in the AL Central. These next few games are going to determine who clinches the division, with Cleveland now holding the tiebreaker. This means that Detroit needs to win out the rest of the season to have a chance at clinching the AL Central. And we need the Guardians to lose at least one of their last 5 games of the season. First pitch is tonight at 6:40 in Cleveland. Swinging over to golf, the Northern Michigan University women's team took 12th out of the 13 teams competing in the Warrior Invitational. This meet included both conference and non-conference teams. Through 36 holes, the Wildcats had their best rounds during the final 18 on Tuesday. The leading lady for NMU was Maddie Martins, who was the first to score in par 4. Another standout was Peyton Donnelly, who led the Wildcats in round 3. NMU has a very short break before hitting the links again with a tournament in Big Rapids, where they will compete in the Bulldog Fall Classic on Saturday and Sunday. Going back to the Diamond, the San Diego Padres beat the NL Central champion, the Milwaukee Brewers, with a final score of 7-0. The Padres have won their first 2 of the 3-game series, winning 4 straight. San Diego pulled behind by 1.5 games behind the Chicago Cubs in their claim for the National League's wildcard spot. The Padres are also within 1.5 games behind NL West leader Los Angeles. Based on current standings, whoever wins in the Cubs and Padres series would face off against the Brewers. The Brewers traveled to the Padres to face off in their series, with the game starting at 4:10 p.m. Pacific time. Isn't it lovely how much baseball we have to look forward to in October?
I have to admit I'm very excited for October baseball this year. There's a lot of teams competing to get in that spot, and I think it's going to be quite competitive.
Me too. I hear you have a few more stories for us.
I do. A man and his wife in Isabella County won $500,000 playing the Michigan Lottery's Detroit Lions instant game. He bought the ticket in Blanchard, scratched it off the next morning, and said the win will be life-changing. He's already claimed the prize and plans to donate, save, and use some for his grandchildren. In other news, the Ordock Brewing Company is presenting Great Lakes folk singer and songwriter Lee Murdoch in concert on September 25th at 7 p.m. The event benefits the Marquette Maritime Museum. Tickets will be $10 at the door. For more information, visit mqt/Maritime Museum.
And that's all we have for today at Public Eye News. I'm Emma Maratz.
And I'm Jacob Heston.
We'll see you next time.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.